So we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us. I'm really happy about the turnout here. Whether you have not heard, this is the first time you're hearing about our app Manifest with Us, or you've seen a little bit about it on social media and you're curious, or maybe you've actually already registered for your account, you haven't used it yet, or you're already out there, talking about it. This is going to be the place for you. We just want to, explain what it is. Also say why we feel that it was really an important investment that we made. Talk about what the app itself provides for clients, and then also why we believe it's really going to help you grow your business really for years to come. It's a little bit of a long game. We feel like we haven't solved for that piece of the puzzle to make sure that we're really being able to reach clients way ahead of time. We want to bust through that myth or that idea that that the right time to reach out to a lender or a realtor is once you see a house that you want to buy or your lease is getting ready to end. It's the biggest investment that most Americans will ever make, the most expensive thing they will ever buy. And we want them to show up on that day that they're ready to get pre-approved and say, I'm ready, I'm confident. We want to know them. We want you to know them. And we want them to understand that, just because they call us, we're not going to, pull their credit right away and they have to take an application. Just because they reach out to you doesn't mean you're going to set them up on a home search and start pressuring them to buy a house. We're on their timeline. And this is the type of education that, for whatever reason, and we hope to change that too, it's just not taught, it's not provided in school. So, the mindset change is really what we wanted to start with. And then, the app is there to educate. There's a lot of really great content depending on where they're at in their homeownership journey, whether they're not yet ready to buy a house. There's, they answer one question when they join the app. And you might have done this if you've registered for a consumer app yourself, which we encourage you to do. I have one, and it's nice to know what the platform looks like. But you'll say, I'm not yet ready to buy a house. I've hit a bump in the road. I'm ready to buy a house, or I'm not making a home ownership change at this time. And based on the way that the registrant answers that question, it'll set up their content. But there's all sorts of really great content in there. The other thing that we wanted to do is we wanted to insulate them. So, if someone's not yet ready to buy, or they have hit a bump in the road, a lot of times we're trying to coach them on their credit, which sometimes works great. But then, we've got great credit repair companies, but sometimes it feels a little bit as though we're putting somebody out into the abyss when we're just saying, okay, go work with a credit expert. And then something comes along and we're not top of mind. You're not top of mind because you've talked to somebody at a birthday party, and then all of a sudden, a year later, you find out they buy a house. So what can we do to provide something of value, something that's going to connect us with the customer, and make sure that they are locked in with us in our nest, in your nest, in our ecosystems, so that when they are ready, there's no question that they're going to come back and they're going to work with us.
So just to clarify for everybody, this is branded with you on it. So when
yes.
when Alice is saying us, it's the Realtor and Leader One, and it's an app, right, designed to grab people top of the funnel.
Mm-hmm.
And then really, I don't know the right word. What's the word? Matriculate? I'm saying it wrong. You know what I'm trying to say, though.
Well, just to make sure that we're dripping on them. We're
Yeah.
sending them light and relevant content to wherever they're at in that homeownership, journey. And then we also want to protect them. So there's another kind of very popular credit app that a lot of people use, Credit Karma. And then we know about Zillow and all these places where consumers are out in the marketplace. They're putting their information in, they're requesting information, and they're not protected in that way. They're getting clickbaited, they're getting marketed to for credit cards and loans and other realtors and things like that. And this app that they join is a completely safe place. They're not marketed to, their information is never shared. Because of that, it's a clean interface, so you don't have all these ads and all these things popping up when you're in there. It's blue, it's
And the
peaceful, it's
cost,
calm.
The cost
And
for the client?
zero, the cost to you, zero. So we invested a lot in this because, because we believe in it, because, we love to play the long game and invest in tools that we know because of what, Gen Z and millennial homeowners, the way that they buy right now is they really do a lot of research on the internet and things like that ahead of time, and they make those decisions and start to validate their subject matter experts way before the buyers of yesterday did. So so we brought on the developers of the app that we have that we worked with them to white label. So we named the app. We love Manifest. That's just we're talking about this is mortgage readiness. This is financial health. This is long term. Your wealth building journey all through life. And so we love that term. And the with us, we just want, with us, we want to be in partnership with people from start to finish. So we brought on Nick, Chris, and Adrian from FinLocker, which is the app developing company startup that has really exploded. They're doing an amazing job. And we've been so impressed to work with them. We're an early stage adopter of this platform. And because of that, it's been so incredible to actually be a part of helping them to plan and build out the things, the features that they are creating and writing into the app really every week. And so I will go ahead and turn it over to Adrian, Chris, and Nick to tell us a little bit about the app, and we'll just take it from there. Again, if you're just joining us, feel free to put your questions in the chat, raise your hand, hit the emoji, whatever you'd like. We want this to be interactive, and it's better than just talking to you the whole time. So glad you're here.
And Jenny did type a couple questions in the chat, Alice.
Okay. So, and yeah, Chris is going to handle those.
I'm answering those now. And if anyone's, I'll come off mute if it's a little more in depth, but I'll answer all your questions in the chat if you just start with those one-off ones.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Thanks, Alice. That was a great intro. I'm Adrian, VP of Sales over at FinLocker. And so my hope today is to really kind of lead you guys through our journey, how we got to where we're going, or how we got to where we are now and where we're heading. And then we'll pass it over to Nick, and he'll show you guys the app. One thing that Alice mentioned that I want to kind of jump on is the fact of being an early adopter, because I think that's something that's really important, especially right now, is the ability to offer your clients something that they've probably never seen before, something that allows them to fully interact with this platform, to learn, to educate themselves, but also ask questions to their trusted advisor throughout this entire process. And so as we're going through this, I want you guys to think of that in the mindset of wow, this is something we could probably send to someone and they'd be like, I've never seen this before. That it's exactly what I'm looking for, because everyone needs help with their budget. Everyone needs help with their credit, especially as a first-time home buyer. And this is something that's really going to bridge that gap for everyone. I'm going to share my screen. So give me just 2 seconds. And will you guys just let me know if you can see?
Yes.
Yep. All right. I'm also going to hit present, and I'll ask one more time. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Then this is good. It's not Monday and everyone can see. Okay, so here's what our vision is at FinLocker. It's creating financially fit homeowners. And the way that we like to explain that is think about really those up funnel, up journey individual clients that are not quite ready to buy that home. As an agent, I kind of think of this as, you guys are working the front line of what of the home ownership journey, right? You're probably doing some first-time education for clients. You're meeting them at bars. Maybe some of you are still door knocking, which is awesome. But you're running into these individuals at any part of their life cycle, and we're here to really focus in on those individuals that are, I'm either a brand new person not ready to buy a home but looking to, or someone that owns a home that's looking to maybe buy that new home, upgrade, but don't have the savings or don't have a plan for that to happen. And so You know, when we talk to a lot of agents, they really tell us, you know, I feel good about my drip campaigns, and I feel really good about, you know, sending out the marketing material every couple weeks, or the happy birthdays. And those are working well for me. But I don't really have any plan for those individuals that come to me that aren't quite ready. And that's exactly what this program is here to offer. When we look at the app, we kind of put ourselves into not one, but 3 bubbles that we can help your clients with. But there's going to be scenarios in which they are already utilizing platforms. So we like to kind of show you, you know, instead of this company, they could be utilizing our product. And there's reasons why they would do so, right? So if you look at the instead ofs, you're going to see like Credit Sesame, Rocket Money, Credit Karma. I personally have both Rocket Money and Credit Karma. And the biggest problem with those is they're not really geared towards me getting financially better or educating me more. They're more geared towards pushing me a credit card when I don't need a credit card, or letting me know that I'm available to pull out an auto loan. But those are not things that are going to help me become financially more fit. And it's also not going to help me with my journey through home ownership. So we are creating an environment that is closed, that is not going to be marketing towards your client base to let them know, hey, open up this credit card. We're going to do the inverse of that. We're going to tell them, here's things that you should do to increase your credit score. Also, you can reach out to your trusted advisor to ask any question to make sure that you're on path to hit your goals. You can also do a property search. You could see your home valuation through the app, and Nick's going to show you guys all through that. And then, of course, we bring down the mortgage education and lending research, allowing them to utilize their own app to educate themselves, to create scenarios in which they can own homes, and then also utilize some of our calculators to make sure that they're on track to complete this process. They're going to be able to credit monitor. They're going to be able to also check over their personal finances, set budgets, set goals. They're going to be able to track all their spending. All of that is available within this application. And the best part about it, I'll say it again, is the fact that this is a closed environment, not something that we are going to be marketing towards them. We're going to be sending them notifications and emails on your behalf, but we will not be sending them a notice to go work with another agent at any point in this journey. Before I pass off to Nick, any questions, anything in the chat, Chris, that you want to address?
I think I answered most of the things in the chat, but just to reiterate, this is the functionality is all national, so anywhere in the US. So you can definitely use it hyper localized, but if someone wants to go out and, like, for example, search for a property, or they own an investment property, one of your clients owns an investment property somewhere out of state, it works. So just think of everything in the United States, it works for that. Someone else asked about codes. So when you invite somebody to the app, you guys, for those of you who've already signed up with the Roller team, you have your invite link and your mobile code invite link. Those can be used interchangeably, meaning it's just one invite pass. So if you want to prefer to say, hey, go download the Manifest with Us app and use my code, great, and they sign up. Or you can say, use this link, click it, register on web, and then you can download the app afterwards. Or you can just use your desktop version. There's just flexibility, but that code can be customized. So it just needs to be anything 8 digits. So I see Jenny on the phone. Just send it to the Roller team. They'll get it to us, and we just, within a couple business days, we can have your mobile code updated to anything you want. Just has to be 8 digits, alphanumeric.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Nick, I'm going to hand it over to you to show us around the app. And you're on mute, bud.
Thank you for that.
You got it.
All right. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yep.
All right. So guys, what we're looking at today is the actual app in production. So I will actually be using my finger to control this. But as we go through here, we'll talk about everything. But let's get right down to what we're focusing on today. And that is our agent information. So as we scroll through here, you'll see a bunch of stuff. But as we mentioned, you guys are going to be inside of this product. So when you guys get set up, they're going to ask you for headshot, company name, things like that. That's all going to be displayed, whether you're in the application or you're on the desktop or mobile browser, doesn't matter, your information is going to pop up. So the Meet Your Agent card, your name, company, MLS number, if you guys want to put it in there, that's not required. Obviously headshot if you want it, and then your contact information. This is going to be there every time your borrower logs in. Right below that, we get into some of the home valuation information that Adrian talked about a little bit. So in here, your users can come in and actually enroll their homes. Basically, they're just searching for that property address, and then we go out and they pull an AVM on it, bank rated AVM, and we pull that information in. So you'll automatically get an estimated home value. If the consumer actually enrolls their mortgage as well, then we can give them a taste of what their equity might be already built in. So as we continue to go through here, you'll see a property chart. They can kind of track that track that home value as it goes through. There's a bunch more details in here. If I go to view details, this is where you can enroll your property. You can find your home, all of that built in right here on the application. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, I think my app is trying to sign me out here. I apologize. Here, you know what? Let's
you're going on that. I'll answer the one question that came up because it's a little bit, I can just put it in there. So how accurate is the property values is what is being asked here. It's highly accurate. I can go into a bunch of different details about the provider, about everything else. But at the end of the day, we did a lot of comparisons between Zillow, Redfin. We actually had one client give us 300 different as-is appraisal values within 30 days of closing. All across the country, we compared those to what our property values were, and it came back at 99.7%. So there will be anomalies. There will be ones where it might be a little bit lower or a little bit higher than what a Redfin or Zillow or something else says, but across the board, it's highly accurate.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. And I apologize, guys. My my app just gave me a couple issues on the test side. So I just switched over to the web version. As you can see, same branding, same coloration. As we scroll down, same Meet Your Agent card. All the information is the same, no matter where you're looking at it. But as we were looking at the My Property section, again, you can still see all the information. Here's the chart. We're tracking that home value. The property search built right in, and I know this is probably something you guys are all interested in. We'll go ahead and click into it. It's the same type of property search that your consumers are used to, whether it's the one you guys have provided or the ones they've gone out and done their own research on. They can come in here, search anywhere they want to search. They can get home values. All of that is pulled directly from inside the application. Now, touching on something that Adrian talked about, anything that happens inside of here stays inside of here. So even if your borrower goes out and favorites a property or is just searching in an area, we're not going to send that information to another realtor, to another LO. All of that stays housed inside the application. Now, one thing that will happen is when they are out there searching, you guys will get an email like this. This is going to let you know that one of your borrowers is out there actually doing a property search. So if this is somebody who's, maybe 6, 8, 9 months away from what they thought they were ready for, maybe the application has told them, hey, you know what, you're closer than you thought. And so they get excited, go start looking for properties. You're going to be notified. Where you might not have thought that they were going to be ready for another 3-6 months. Hey, things have changed. They're out there looking. It's a really easy place to go have a touch base. So you guys will get an email just like that.
One thing I was going to say there is that, I know that once you guys, as realtors, have a client who's pre-approved and who's ready to start searching for a house, and you set them up on a home search, of course. So this would be, people in this application would be people who are, for whatever reason, at that time that they registered, probably not yet ready to go ahead and just pull the trigger. So that wouldn't maybe overlap with your home search, and it can be an enhancement of it, but just to let you know there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks, Alice. So again, everything that happens inside of here is going to stay inside of here. We don't have to worry about this information leaking out and another person coming and, you know, bombarding your borrower with ads or, you know, solicitations. So a lot of really cool stuff in the property section, but there's a lot of cool things in the app overall. So up top, the homeownership readiness. So again, for these borrowers who might be, you know, 6, 9, even 12 months out of being ready, we're going to track their progress here and give them updates as they progress on the 4 stars of readiness. Those are going to be comprised of everything you guys see down here. So here's the credit that we talked about. I'm going to give them their score right on the front. We have tools like Credit Compass and Credit Simulator. Credit Simulator allows them to go out there and run scenarios based on things that they might choose to do in this journey. So maybe they're paying off credit cards. Hopefully they're not out there applying for a new car, but they can test those waters before they ever get there. Credit Compass is the inverse of that. So we tell you where your score is. You tell us where you want to be. You know, maybe it's a credit impaired borrower who really just wants to get up to that, you know, 620, 660 mark. They set that goal and we help them get there. So we help them get not only to the home purchase, but qualifying for that mortgage quicker if we can. Financial summary, we won't dig too far into this, but this is where they can enroll all of those checking, savings, 401ks, their mortgage. They can enroll all that information in here so they can see it in one location. Obviously, a little bit of net worth, cumulative savings, and then they can even track debt to income ratios. With my test accounts, it doesn't look pretty, but you guys get the gist. Again, just touching on it one more time, you know, the Meet Your Lender, Meet Your Agent cards. When you hand these out to your consumers, you know, again, they're always going to know who their team is. You know, so if you're working with Adrian and I, and you know, you're going to see me, well, you're getting an inception of me, double pictures here. Sorry about that. But you're going to see me and you're going to see Adrian. You're always going to know this is my trusted team. These are the people who are helping me reach that dream of homeownership, both on the lending side and on the real estate side. So lots of stickiness that comes into play here. Down here on the bottom, quick links to get to anywhere you want to go. You got the information center, the videos, all of the helpful resources that are in here. So lots of good stuff. I know I threw a lot at you guys there pretty quickly. Are there any questions that anyone has? Anything anyone wants to dive in deeper on? Feel free to come off mute, or if you want to put it in the chat.
Could we see an example of a video, like where they would go to see that, and what kind of topics do you have videos
Sure thing.
for?
So in here, so we've got mortgage process, terms, so common terms. You can click on any of these. So loan to value, we'll click on that. And if my internet here will allow me to pull this up. I think most of us on this call probably understand what LTV is, but just to give you an idea, all professional videos. I think our longest one, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we don't go over like 2.5 minutes. They're all pretty concise, to the point.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. And again, those quick links are always on the bottom, so you can always get in there. Information center. Well, of course, on my test account, it's going to do that to me. Wouldn't be a live demo if I didn't have some issues here, right?
Another feature that I think is really cool is the document center. So
Yeah.
if you've ever like wanted and dreamed of having a place that you could, a safe place where you could store and sort, you know, important electronic documents, and even then have those kind of at your fingertips to upload to someone if you wanted. But this is great just for anybody. So maybe explain what those are.
Yeah, so this is one of those features that doesn't get as much love as it should. So Alice, I appreciate you calling that out. But yeah, so basically anything that you would like to store in here, and this could be related to your home purchase. It could be related to the documents that you're going to need to get to the roller team once you guys are ready to transact. You can house those in here. So again, properties, if we go to financial, you'll see we got tax statements, pay statements, anything other, maybe it's a letter of explanation, gift deposit, whatever it may be. You can store all that in here right from here. Functionality also available on the application, so you don't need to be on the desktop to do this. So this is a really cool thing. As far as I recall, there isn't actually a limit to how much you guys can put in here. And then on the back side, if you guys decided to utilize, or I should say your borrowers decided to utilize this product to actually share this information with the roller team, you guys could come in here to our Lender Connect feature. And I don't think I have it on my test account, so I apologize. But you guys can actually.
It got updated last night. It's called Review with your lender.
Oh, I was going to say I'm missing it. Oh, right there. I apologize, guys. But you guys can come here, click New Share, and then we'll actually take you through a few questions. I say you, but I mean your borrowers. Answer a few questions here, and then once you do that, you hit Continue. Any of those documents that your borrower shared in the document center, you can actually send those directly to the roller team. So again, if it's tax statements, pay statements, we'll convert those to PDF and we'll share those. We'll actually share a copy of their asset statement. FinLocker happens to be day one certainty approved for assets. So that just helps out, the mortgage side on that. And then we'll actually share over a Bismo file for your mortgage team as well, if they need that. They don't have to utilize any of it, but it's something that lets the borrower know that they're helping out right there on the front side. And then, the roller team can come in on the back end and get anything else they need. So yeah, lots of cool stuff that's built in here.
What about, so, depending on where you're at in your home ownership journey, you will receive different types of content. And the content that you guys send out is through the push notifications. So we do want to let people know on this, it's not going to spam you or whatever, but you want to have your push notifications on because that's going to allow them to get notified. And could you give us an example of let's say somebody who's either, hit a bump in the road or is just not yet ready to buy, the type of content that would go out to them and how that would look?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead, Chris.
Do you have any handy examples, Nick? If not, we can speak to it.
So I've got the couple that you sent over, which does have the credit score one, but
yeah, I'll just get a quick run through. So we can, and else we can send out the specifics afterwards, but somebody who is maybe has a selection of overcoming challenges will be more about the feature. It will be highlighting a little bit more, a little bit of trusting, hey, there's a lot of people go through this. This is just this normal. Let's figure out how we get you there. And so it highlights some of those features that Nick showed, like the credit simulator and the credit compass, which is more about education, the savings and the budgets and goals, where they can actually work on their situation, versus somebody who maybe not looking, presumably they already own a property. So we kind of push more of the features of tracking your property value, track your overall net worth. Just now, if you got any questions, I'm here as your trusted loan officer or agent. And so there's a series of, everyone gets a welcome email, but then there's a series of about four different fall along those four different persona journey types. So if anyone would like examples of that, we can show you what that content looks like. And then post that onboarding journey, it's important financial milestone updates for the consumer. So, did they get a credit score update? Do they have a credit alert? Did a new trade line get opened? A hard inquiry. So they can use this as kind of a credit monitoring tool as well. Their property value, did that get updated? Are they running our readiness assessment and they're on a streak? So it's kind of a congratulations. Did they hit their target credit score? So there's a bunch of different things. We try not to over notify, but we do try to see key financial milestones. And the call to action is to come back to the app, where they then see you as the realtor partner within there.
For just a second.
Yeah.
I got a really cool email from, well, it looks like it's from Leader One, but it's about the Manifest app. And it says, number 1 of 3 things you should know about mortgage rates. And it says, Dear Jenny, regardless of when you want to buy a home, blah, 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 blah. And it was just just a couple of paragraphs about like interest rates right now and why they're changing and how to navigate that. And I just thought it was a really, quick little, especially because that's what's in the news, right? That's what we keep hearing. And so it was just kind of a nice, quick piece that was emailed out from the Manifest app to kind of update me as a consumer about mortgage rates.
Yeah, that's Jenny. I'm glad you brought that up because in addition to just like I said, the financial milestone apps, updates that get triggered based on data updates for the consumer's profile within the app. What Jenny was mentioning is seasonally, we will come up with our marketing and product team will come up with something that is just kind of relevant or what's noisy within the industry or on the consumer's mind. And interest rates, we all know, is a big topic right now. So we did do a series of that, and that's a continual thing that probably happens, like I say, once a quarter with what's hot for this quarter. So there's a question here. Can a user change their status, change their journey if their situation changes? And Eric, the answer is yes. They can change it at any point in time. The cool thing is that, like, let's say someone's getting ready and they go to, and their journey changes to ready. They're notified. So especially the roller team here is notified. This person's ready to go, or said they're ready to go.
Yeah. And another thing, I mean, we would love it if everyone used all like the app to its, peak functionality, but that the reality is that a lot of people won't use, they're not going to maybe connect everything, right? But what we know is that, like, this is an easy engagement tool for if you meet somebody at the grocery store, if you're like you said, if you're outdoor knocking, if you're hosting, we just recently had a home buyer workshop and wealth building seminar, and we had everyone who was in attendance download the app. And so if you ever, host an event, maybe it's client appreciation, and it's out with people that you haven't that haven't bought with you yet. You've got a QR code and they scan and download your app, but it's a way to create a nest and an ecosystem that is going to keep you connected and keep you top of mind, even if they don't use the app for the for the credit tools and for the home search features.
There's a couple other things in here. So we're talking about sharing on social media. So Alice is a perfect examples of how to do that, what's been done. In the material that we're going to send out, there was some other clients that have, not necessarily the roller team, but other examples just to give you of how you can go about promoting it, but get creative. It's that there is no like just one set way to do it. But I would highly encourage you to watch Alice's videos, and then there'll be a couple other examples in the material we send out. And there was a question about if an agent wants to use the app for themselves, but then also wants a co-branded app for their clients, can they use a co-branded app for their personal? So you can register as a consumer. Highly encourage, I put in some of the response there, highly encourage you to set up your own self as your consumer using your link that the roller team has given you. There's a couple reasons for it. One, it's just helpful for you. But two, where we see really high adoption is if you are talking to somebody, you're going to start knowing what their objectives are, what they're trying to do. So the more you can call out the specific features of the app that will help them, the higher likelihood that we've seen they're going to go sign up, because the app does 20, 30 different things. It's great. But if they're focusing on improving their credit, well, if you speak to the credit, you'll probably get a higher adoption rate that way. Also good for those social media examples too.
And I mean, when you guys are talking about this app on social media, if you have, like Chris said, I'd highly recommend that you join just our link. But then, when you get that co-branded app, that is your app. When you're talking about it on social media, it's join my app. I mean, it's not, we're co-branded in this app with you, but it's not. I mean, it's Leader One, but at the same time, it's independent. It's its own thing. And so, and when you co-brand it, this is your app. And so you can talk about it that way. What questions does anyone have, or do you have any feedback?
I had one thing. It's when we talk about this app, and we as a team, we're using HomeBot and we're using our loan origination app, right? Simple Nexus, or Encino. Some people on this call probably use list reports, right? I think there's a time and a place for every app. And this app could be used throughout the entire process from the beginning. But we also have like the nCino app that is good for mortgage calculation, letting you know what's going on throughout the loan process. So it's a different app, right? This is top of the funnel. We'll bring them into Simple Nexus or nCino, which is also dynamic. If you don't know about it, it's a huge way for you to create business. And after nCino, they go into HubSpot. I'm saying it wrong. What is it? Is it HomeBot? Then they go into HomeBot.
HomeBot.
Yeah. And list report should be something completely different. If you don't know what it is, ask any one of us about it after the call. But that would be more for your own individual branding.
Yeah, this is a capture. We want to capture people early in the process, and then identify those consumers that would be able to to benefit from the app, or like the features that have already owned a home. I mean, I like to use the app really, I like the document feature, and I like the credit feature too, actually, because I don't have a Credit Karma. But yeah, I think that this is the long play. This is going out and gathering. It's building your database. It's having an easy opportunity to connect with someone with something that's really valuable. Not just, and it takes some of the work off of you, right? Like, I know some stress, that we feel, that I know that you guys feel as agents is, oh my gosh, I met that person, and yes, I've got this, I could send them and I could put them on my newsletter, but life is crazy sometimes. And I mean, this is doing, a lot of that drip work for you for people who are not yet ready to buy. It's a CRM. Any feedback? Yes, no, like it?
We always love feedback.
Okay. Well, if you guys have any questions, so we have I put in the chat how to join as a consumer. That's just go to Google Play or Apple, the Apple Store. Manifest with Us is the app, and then our invite code is Manifest. Reach out to us if you would like.
Is it Manifest all lowercase, or does it matter?
It's not case sensitive, so that's kind of nice. And then if you want to have yours built, then you just you can text me. My number's been in that chat. Or if someone else invited you to the call, you know who that is, reach out to them. It's really easy. I mean, we can do it in a matter of, it takes us 15-20 minutes to get it set up for you. But having both is great. And then we would love to work with you on an individual basis, like just strategizing on how to actually, leverage it and make it actually work for you. The point is to help you grow your business. The point is to help you stay connected to more people and to provide, a protected and insulated place for people who are going to buy a house from you. So thank you guys so much for coming. And I hope you have a really successful March, and we look forward to talking to you soon, okay? And thank you to the FinLocker guys, Nick, Chris, Adrian, thank you so much for coming on and talking about this really amazing app.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Really appreciate the time.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.